Hi, and welcome back. Today I'm kind of just piddling around the shop here. I'm going to make a holder for my stamp. Now, I've already done a little bit to it and figured out the other things there a couple of times. I've got a piece of box tube. It's thin tubing out here, and it's 1.25 by 1.25 which makes it 1 and 1/8 inside. Okay, this thing is 7/8 by 7/8, more or less, or see what it is on the mill scale, because that may be, it come from over there. That's 20, looks like 24 millimeters, 24 millimeter. So anyway, it goes through this like butter. I mean, it just falls through it. So the piece I cut off 3 inches, and I had a piece of 3/4, or yeah, it's probably 3/4 by 3/4. Nah, it's 3/4 by 3/4, and so anyway, it fit my hardy hole. So I just ground it, cleaned it, and everything, and I run it down through, fixed it, and I took this piece, a piece like this, like I said, 3 inches long, and filed out the inside. It's got a little seam right there where it's welded. Everything, a little seam weld. I don't know if you can see in there or not. Right up here at the top, right up there, there's a little seam that hangs down. I believe it's Jason at Fireball Tools made a little tool to scrape them out. I didn't, because I was only going 3 inches. If I was going to use more than that, I would have made it a tool somewhat similar to what he'd made. But anyway, I just filed it out, and filed the inside, filed the rust out of it, and welded it. Done a little grinding on the angle iron, flattened it out on the legs, and welded that to it. And I've cut pieces of Kydex, 2 different thicknesses of Kydex here, and got it put out there where it will go and fixed right there. There's not much difference in them, the thickness, but there's a little, and it makes this hold on a little bit. So anyway, when I get this, like I said, I've got it welded. It's out there in my hardy hole right now. And I've got a plate of steel that I've got to go cut and grind. I come back in here, forgot my mask and my hearing protection, so I wear my eye guards all the time. I can't see without my eye guards, and it's polycarbonate, so I don't know if it's bulletproof or not, but it's impact resistance. So hopefully nobody will be shooting at me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go cut that piece of plate out, bring it back in here, and do a little fiddling with it and get everything right, and try to get it as best I can clamped up and get it square in all manners of things. Then I can take it back out and weld it. I've got to make a stop for it so that the offset on its head is about 3/16 down into the blade stock. You know, right like this, and just bring it right under that, just right under the edge, and like that. Have this where I can push it right straight up against it, let this down, and hit it one time, and one time only. That way it don't bounce and then remark and double mark and all this other stuff. And you don't with that, you don't have to worry about it, you know, saying, well, it wasn't square when I done it. I have to do it again and screw everything up, which I have a tendency to do a whole lot. But anyway, I'm trying to take all the variables out of it, try to get them where the stamp, you know, everything. So I'm going to go do this, get my mask and my hearing protection, and I'll be back in a few minutes after I get it cut out so that I can come and get everything situated the way I want it. Alright, be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back in. It didn't take too awful long. This is what I got done so far with this. I welded this on, this piece. I cleaned the inside of it out. Got it all good and sanded straight and everything. Let's see, make sure this camera's all the way out. Yeah, looks like I'm right in it. So, anyway, I welded this on and ground it kind of flat. Like they say, a grinder in paint makes up for the welder I ain't. So I ground the back of it flat right there so I could put clamps on it. But use these little C-clamps once I got it positioned so I could hold it on there. So, okay, now that I ground, like I said, I ground a flat spot right here on the front. Ground this. Didn't take anything off the 90-degree corner back here, but I did kind of grind the sides of it, get the mill scale off of it. And it's got scratches on it where it's run up and down my hardy hole. And my hardy hole is 7/8, and it was a little over an inch across to start with. Let's see, I said 3/4. This may be 1 inch. It's 1 inch. I'm sorry. Actually, yeah, it's 1 inch. 1 inch by 1 inch. I'm sorry. Instead of 3/4 by 3/4. But anyway, my hardy hole is 7/8. So I ground it down, squared these corners off right there to keep it from doing anything. And it'll go in there, and it sets at a 45-degree angle on my anvil. My anvil's got a 3-inch face top. So I cut a piece of steel and notched it. Now, it don't look exactly perfect, but I brought it in here so I could finish it out. It don't go in there. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, because this is mild steel, and I'm going to hand file it till it does slide down in there. Just so I'm going to keep it tight so I can get it positioned. And I've got it in here so I can use my granite block as a flat surface so I can get everything in 90 degree. So it'll be 90 degrees no matter what. With this 90 degrees with the plate and with the top of the anvil, and at 90 degrees each way. So get everything 90 degrees, that way it'll go straight. And I can mark straight and not have crooked marks or washed out or having to hand sand and do again. So, or just have little bubbles under the fingernail polish and make the mark completely what I don't want it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get set up over here in the vise and get my files out, and I'll be back. Okay, I got it in here in the vise, so let's see how much it takes to go. Well, looks like that it don't like much about going right there. So whether it does or not, all right, now need a little better bolts. This vise here. Okay. Want it tight. Yes, I do. That go. Looks all right there. Just a little bit more. Okay. There. There's that. That's plenty of room for me to weld it up. Okay, I got it fitted and shimmed and everything and kind of pinned in there. I beat on the corners to bring this in a little bit, make it a little tighter, and shimmed it. And then I strapped squares to it. Clamps here, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees there, so it's got to be 90 here, and I know it's 90 there because it's 90 here. So now I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do some tack welding on the bottom of it right there, and maybe on the top right here on this back here. Weld it up there a little bit there, just do a little tack there and a tack there, and then come underneath here and tack in the middle and get it kind of tacked up so I can take these off of it and weld it properly. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Again, it could be the welding. I distorted it quite a bit on the inside there somewhere that I didn't see. Okay, I'm back. It didn't take so long to weld it and kind of grind it out. This pile of chicken poo right here will get dressed up with a file. Couldn't get my grinder in there. There's not enough distance between here and there. So I figured I'd go over it. Alright. After I get done fiddling with this. Okay. I'm pretty much, hopefully I got it all fiddled with here. I'm just roughing this up inside here, knocking any extra deep rust or anything that might be in there on it off. And I'm going to take a little rag right there and put some acetone on it and run it up and down the hole there a time or two. Get it ready for glue. Good morning. Now the next day on this, I've let this set up overnight. So I pulled it out of it. It was fit in there just a little bit tight, which that's okay because I put tape on this. And then I sanded out any squeeze out of glue that was in there, or epoxy. That plastic weld, or just a few minutes ago. The heater's just now. It's cold out here. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I got the tape off and sanded it. I didn't buff it, it's slick enough. So, except for just a little bit around the edges there, especially up here on top. I didn't get it all off. Took longer than I thought I was going to, though. Now, they put a line on this so the line would face you, and the DBK would be on the bottom, and the dog would be there. Now, when this got stuck in there with the other pieces of Kydex in it that wasn't glued in, instead of trying to fix something on this and knock it out, I turned it over like a hammer and just kind of bumped the bottom of it a couple of times, and just to see if it would shake loose. And I've done just a little bit of filing on it, but I don't know if this would show or not. I really don't know. But anyway, there's a, at the very bottom in there is just a little bit of a DBK stamped on there. I mean, I didn't do it, I didn't hit it hard, I just tapped it to bring it in. So now, here's this, let me find a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, pasteboard, soapbox, something. Stefan, and I'll see. There we go. Right here. I knew I had some. So right here, wiped off a bit there. Now this is I'll have to get all this squared up here. But anyway, I've got to figure out the stops. So didn't mark it. No wonder. Dropped the wrong end in. Okay. Done it 3 times right there, and it made it fuzzy. Now let's see what all the times. Got 12,000 rulers later in here. Can't find one when you need it. So that is a 1/4 inch. I need that cut in half. So I need 1/8 of an inch right here. So what I'll do is I'll take this out here to the welder, and I will weld this up just a little bit, and then I can come back and file it out and file it square and everything. Try to get it all filed square. So let me take it out yonder and do a little welding on it, and I'll be right back. Okay, that didn't take so long, just a minute or two there. Throw a little more bubble gum in there. All right, let's try that. All I done, I just give it just a little crease right there. Wasn't much. Didn't take 15 seconds, or well, maybe a minute. Let's just try that. I don't know about anybody else, but that looked pretty dang good. Now I'm tickled to death with it. Let's see what this is now. Yep, that's about 1/8 on that right there. It's a little crooked. Take one of these diamond files right here. Okay, tighten up. Alright, stay right there. Now, okay, now. It's a little off, it's a little turning sideways there. It looks like it's kind of give just a little bit, but that ain't enough for me to hurt. Help add the uniqueness to it. So, works real good on cardboard, don't it? And when Glenn at GS Tongs showed me the picture of it and what it done to hot steel. He said he hit it too hard. So now I got to figure out the right amount to hit it. Some of it goes deep, some of it don't. Looks like it goes. Looks like it's a little weak on that upper right hand ear there, just a little bit. That's probably me. No, probably to it. It is me. Okay. There is the Stamp-O-Matic 100. It's done. It will be living on my striking anvil for the most part, or they're on the anvil stand right there. So anyway, except for the stamp. Now the stamp will stay in here till I get kind of moved out there to start hot stamping stuff. But right there is where it's going to be. Alright, another project complete. So till next time, this is Bobby Shields saying God bless.